Welcome to the 2025 $500,000 Bainbridge 5-Star Grand Prix at Wellington International. It was a spectacular competition, including the best show jumping riders and horses in the sport. Many international Olympic riders and qualified hopefuls challenged each other for prestige and purse money with an eye on future Olympic team selections. The audience was overflowing, and the action was exceptional and the environment was electric. Wellington International President Michael Stone shared his thoughts on the success of the night's impending contest. I'm here with Michael Stone. He's president of Wellington International, and we're here for the Bainbridge Grand Prix. It's a 5-star jump-off of the best riders in the world. Michael, what's your expectations for tonight?
Well, I think we're going to have an amazing night. It's $500,000 in prize money. We have the best riders in the world. The world number one is here. It's going to be spectacular, and the crowds are streaming in, so we're really looking forward to it.
I was here for your Fidelity Grand Prix, and it was standing room only. It was amazing. Are you expecting the same thing tonight?
Same thing again. It's growing every week. It's fantastic.
I'm here with Danielle Woman. Apologize for the background noise, but we're through the first 20 of 40 horses in the jump-off. World caliber riders, and Danielle herself was a former Olympian. So why don't you tell me a little bit about your background briefly, and then just what do you think is going to happen in the second half of the show tonight and into the finals?
Yeah, so I was a former rider, went to the Olympics in Tokyo, so I've jumped all these 5-star classes, so I kind of know what it takes to ride out there and get it done, and we've seen 20 jump in the class so far. It's clearly a very challenging course. Some of the best horse and rider combinations in the world have not been clean. So, it'll be interesting to see in the second half what happens. We've already seen some of the best pairs that are in the entire field. So I don't know how many more we're going to see clear, definitely a few more, but it's been a very exciting class, and I'm sure we're going to see some more excitement coming up because it is tough out there tonight.
Now, the winner of the Paris Olympics, gold medalist, he got a fault.
He did. He got 2 faults, actually. So he struggled, and McLean Ward also had 1 down, so actually 2 down. So it's definitely difficult out there. It's very tall. The verticals are tall. The oxers are wide. A lot of challenging questions. It starts kind of open, and then a lot of shorter lines as it comes. And the open water has been a big question all night, depending on if people do 6 or 7. So that's definitely been the hardest part so far.
What's the tallest jump out there? I know it's measured in meters. Well, give me the closest thing in feet, but I walked it before the event, and it's taller than many of the riders.
It is. It's certainly taller than I am. I'm pretty short. But I think the tallest specs out there is over 1.60 m, maybe 162 even, some of those verticals. But number 2 is tall. The avocado green vertical is very tall. And coming out of that last double, as well as the white skinny. And that white skinny has also been very challenging as people trying to make up time and coming in very tight back to that rollback.
How do they pick the order of who goes first, etc., in the early eliminations?
So there's a qualifier on Thursday, and it is reverse order of that qualifier. So the winner from that class will go last tonight.
And there's an advantage going last, and because they get to see everyone, correct? Give me a little heads up on that.
Yeah, sure. You always want to go late in the course because you will get to see other people ride, and you'll have a little bit of a plan, and maybe you walk one plan, and when you go early, you kind of just got to execute what you walk. But when you go late, you get to watch and maybe change your plan a little bit and adapt it to what will work best for your horse.
So out of the first half, 4 out of the 20 have moved forward with clean rounds, and let's say we get another 4, just speculating because we're halfway here. That means 8. There'll be an advantage to being last there too, and how is that determined, the order?
Again, the riders will come back in the same order as they originally jumped. So we'll see the first one who qualified will come back first, and so on. Again, so if you got a lucky draw from being good in the qualifier, you get to go later in the jump off. That'll be a big advantage. Again, you get to see track, you get to see where you need to shave time to beat people, and going last certainly does help. Well, if you want to hear more about what's going on in the 5-star level sport, check out Force Fights on YouTube on Tuesdays.
Of the original 40 riders, only 8 were faultless and made it to the final jump-off. Emily Conter from Belgium was 3rd rider-up on her mount, Portobello van de Fruitkorf. She rode faultlessly and with the shortest time making her the 2025 winner. Her ride was spectacular in every way.
I can't see.
The order of finish for the top 5 riders was first Emily Conter, second Harry Charles, third Henrique von Eckermann, fourth Tom Wachman, and fifth Dara Kenny. After her spectacular win, Emily Conter rode her horse Portobello into the arena to parade their win before the adoring crowd. Select guests of children from the audience were selected into the arena to view the award ceremony up close. The top 3 finishers were given their honors. First, Emily Conter, second, Harry Charles, and third, Henrique von Eckermann. The arena celebration was followed by a press conference with the top 3 finishing riders. It was hosted by Wellington International Press Secretary Lindsay Brock.
Congratulations to all 3 of you. Emily, I'd like to start with you. This is your first 5-star win ever, and it took place here at Wellington International. Can you just tell us what you're feeling here right now?
I am still in a disbelief. I don't really believe it yet. It hasn't really sunk in yet. But yeah, super happy with my horse and my team for making this happen. Yes.
And can you just speak to your partnership and your history with this horse?
I had this horse since she was 7 years old, so we've come a long way. We took it very slow in the beginning because I always know she was very special, and she's just amazing. There's no words for her.
And today is also International Women's Day. Does that make this one a little sweeter?
I know, I realized, someone told me that when I was in the prize. I mean, I knew it was International Women's Day, but it was, yeah, even nicer if a woman could win tonight than was really nice, yes.
And you had mentioned that you knew this horse was special early in her career. Can you just speak to maybe specifically what you felt when you first started riding her and how she progressed?
When I first started riding her, she was a bit colder, but I always felt she had massive scope, like a lot of scope. And she was a bit, when she was younger, she would knock 1 or 2 down, like she was not so impressed with the small jumps, but now the bigger she jumps, the better she jumps.
Harry, we'll move on to you. You spent the majority of the season here in Wellington this winter and seen the atmosphere that's created here on Saturday nights. What is it like to ride in that atmosphere here in Wellington?
It's nearly as good as atmosphere as anywhere. I came here for the first time last year, just did 4 weeks. This is my first time spending a whole season here. 2 horses at the minute for the bigger stuff, and I kind of sat back and took my medicine a bit when it came to the 5 stars. This is the first one I got to jump, but walking in here, I'd really like they improved the lights this year, which is a great addition, and it's a great buzz. The horses, perk up a little bit from it. We as riders want to, give that bit extra. But it's a fantastic atmosphere, and it's always good fun.
And can you speak a little bit to your plan throughout the season and how you've been building to this 5-star and being on the podium?
Yeah, I actually didn't plan on jumping Sherlock in too many of the bigger classes under lights. The last few months, he's still quite green with the lights, and it's not had the best rounds with him. So I kind of sat back the first few weeks and built up to this one as my first one with him, and he jumped it really good, better than if it was in the daytime. I thought the course builder did a great job, a great course. Water caused a few bit of problems, and I think you got a perfect amount of clears, and the jump off was one you couldn't just gallop full speed at every jump. It was one where you kind of had to break the rhythm a little bit. You had to go, stop, turn, and he played with the angles a little bit, like with that big Liverpool oxer. You had to go out a bit, get straight, and it was a good course, and I'm very, very happy with the second place. I'm very happy to be sat in this building. It's the first time. So.
Henrik, we'll move on to you. You've been chasing a Saturday night podium finish all season, and can you just speak to maybe what came together for you and King Edward tonight?
No, King Edward, I'm very, very good. 2 rounds. In the end, I have to say I was lucky that I was third and not fifth, because there were a few rakes going in the end. I didn't get a good jump off. I was always on the brakes, but okay, like Emily said, 1, 2, you want to go on the 9, you go really forward, risk but you fly out a bit, so I wanted to be a steady temp, but that's also waiting. And also so the combination, if you want to go 7, that's also going to be on the limit to fly in there, so there's also a waiting 8. And then to the last also, if you want to go on the 10, you really have to go. The 11 is waiting, so yeah, it was not, I didn't get a good rhythm in that jump off, but I'm happy he jumped fantastic, and I'm very happy for Emily, she did a fantastic job.
For Henrik, we all know Kent is sort of on your heels for that number 1 spot. How important is it to maintain that spot, and do you have a strategy sort of to do that?
It's no strategy. It's just, if I win, I will stay in front. If I lose, he will stay in front. So no, I have actually, I never thought I would be that long, and now I changed a little bit with my horses and so on, and now this with King Edward, and for me it's only important, to bring him back where he was, and then the ranking have to come behind that. It will be a shift now. That's, I won the World Cup final every leg last year, so I will lose a lot of points, so that would be impossible almost to take. But that's okay, Kent, he brought up a good string of horses again, fantastic, and a great rider, and I'm happy to give it over to him.
And finally, Henrik had mentioned that Rolex Finale Week is a goal for him and King Edward. Emily and Harry, can you just speak to whether you're planning on the Rolex US Equestrian Open Grand Prix and which horse you're thinking about using in that?
Yes, I'm thinking of jumping it. I'm just not sure yet which horse I will be jumping, either Portobello or Trixie.
Yeah, I plan hopefully to do it with Sherlock. That was his good test, I thought, good run out with the open water and everything, so fingers crossed everything stays good. Just now keep him in good shape, and we'll give it a good go, I hope.
So Emily, amazing night. You did fantastic.
Thank
How's it
you.
feel?
Really good. It hasn't sunken in yet totally. I still don't know what happened, but I think slowly it'll come to realization what just happened. That I'm really happy.
Your star is rising. It's
Thank
great.
you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
The 2025 Bainbridge Grand Prix at Wellington International was a spectacular event, and a great time was had by all attendants. Thanks to all contributors, and all rights are reserved by What's Up Doc Media Productions.